Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy Tuesday night. Happy Tuesday night. Oh, my goodness. It's even a more special Tuesday night this week, isn't it, George? Heck, I haven't seen you in quite a while.
No, this is great. Not since that beautiful place in Kentucky where we did the last sale that we did together. So I'm so happy to be doing this with you.
Yes. Okay. We are here. Let's see. I'm going to look at a few of the comments here. All right. Hi, John.
And the last time we did an all glass sale, and this one is all pottery.
It is all pottery, and I think it's going to be fun.
I'm
Madison.
excited.
We're not selling Fenton tonight, but we will on Friday. Fenton Friday. Hey, Crystal Stevens. Hi. Hey there. How do you say that? Teofane?
Oh yes. Good friend from up in Canada.
Okay. Sean, Joanne Gibson, Jennifer. Look at all the people. All right. So we'll tell you a little bit about.
That sounds awful.
So, oh my gosh, look at everybody already. Look at all the Facebook people. Blue Flamingo, Janet. Oh my, holy smoke-a-moly. So I am so excited to be back with George to do a sale. We haven't had a sale in a little while. And we're just going to go over a few things as far as where we're at. We are streaming on 6 different venues, 6. So as auctioneers, we will take the highest bid as we see it. So you're not only going to see the people in your own room, and that's it. But actually right now we have almost 80 people in the house. So when you bid, we will post the high bid in the corner, and that's how we do it. So make sure you pay attention to that. Oh, look at all these people. Oh, we've missed George, haven't we, on Rosie's? Let him know. Aww. Send him some love. Goodness gracious.
Well, this is just fun. I'm just glad to be doing something again. And this is my first live sale of the new year. So
oh my goodness.
And putting a few things aside, we'll have some fun.
Yes. Okay. So we have a bunch of pottery. And we're going to get to it now. We will invoice. George and I are shipping separately. We will invoice separately. We both have our different shipping preferences or whatever. For those of you that don't know me, I ship priority mail and everything. And I like to, I invoice a couple days after the sale. And I think we both work that way. And we try and get you the best shipping possible. But we do not ship combined together because we are in separate parts of the country tonight. Aren't we, George?
Oh, yes, we sure are. Sorry, I'm just trying to change my audio to the computer, see if that sounds better. So let me know how that sounds. Is that all right?
You sound wonderful.
Okay, great. Okay. Very good.
All right.
Yes, we are in very different parts of the country. I am in Florida, and that's where I'll be shipping from. And, pottery pieces can be a little bit weighty, but nothing I have is huge. So I will ship it however the folks want it. If you want to save some money and have us do it in a way that takes a little longer, like a parcel, that's great. And if you want us to ship it faster because you need it for Valentine's Day, then let us know and we'll do that too.
Okay. So how we're going to do this, we're going to try to use a timer on a lot of the items that are up tonight just to have it move along. So what we're going to do, we're not using music, but I have this handy dandy timer here that I'm going to flip, and I'm going to watch the bids come in. When that timer is up, then I'm going to start winding it down and asking you if you're in or out. You may see a 30-second timer come up. If you see that timer come up, that is going to give you 30 seconds to bid. And when that timer is up, we're going to take the high bid. If we have an item that we feel needs a little more time, you won't see that timer, and we'll ask you if you're in or out. That's how we do it. I'm shipping from Michigan, and Karen, George is shipping from Florida, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, middle of Florida.
We're going to get started. We got 120 people in the house. I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you're from George's live, and if you are on the Rosie channel, please subscribe to George's page when we get started here. And we're going to get started. We're going to do something different. I'm going to put the first item up. We're going to do choice, and I'm challenging George to put something up to go with it.
Okay, well, this is your choice. I have a Pixie, a California Pixie from about 1950. I don't know if it's Gilner or one of the other companies. It's not a treasure craft. So we will start both of these at the same amount, and the high bidder will get their choice of one or both. And then, you know, we might have a backup bidder if we decide. So
what's the start, George? That. What's the start, George?
Oh, I'm sorry. How about $9?
Okay, we're going to start these at $9. So you're going to get either one of these. This is the choice. Okay, either one of these. So start us out, and we'll go ahead and put like a minute timer on, and then that'll be this one here next to me, and then you'll see a 30-second timer come on the screen. So $9 for choice. I don't know what my little bird is. He's a sweet tweet with a chubby little face. He's some kind of a planner. There's really no mark on the bottom. Blue Flamingo is in at 9.
He's American Bisque. When you held up the bottom, I recognized the bottom. Yeah. If you showed the bottom again, see those big triangles that are dry, and then the sort of hourglass shape in the middle? That's always American Bisque.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So here is, you're going to get choice. Now, when the timer goes down, my timer, my sands of time here, then I will put the 30-second timer on because I want to give you plenty of time. So here we go. $12 with Blue Flamingo. Pauline, Nancy, we see your bids. We're gathering the highest one. $12 is bid. Look at that sweet little face. Look at that sweet little face. Okay, $12, Blue Flamingo. 14, Debbie Swift. Yeah, American Bisque on the bottom. You, Nancy McMillan, we can see you. Okay. All right. We have 14 with Debbie Swift. And I'm going to get my handy dandy timer up here. Very quickly.
Nancy's at 15, I see.
Okay.
And you can see on this one, they filed the bottom because they had to get it off the kiln.
Uh-huh.
That's how we know this one's from about 1950.
All right. Now here goes the timer. 30 seconds and out. So you get to bid quickly. 30 seconds and out. When that timer goes up, I'm going to write sold.
So you get one or both.
I think they're going to take the chick.
I think they're going to.
All right. Here we go. It's going to go up to 30. Hi, Rhonda. 16, Blue Flamingo is on.
Besides, this guy's standing on his head. What more do you want?
Really?
I'll stand on your head to make you a deal. That was a car dealer in LA at a long time ago.
All right. Here we go. You only got about 7 seconds left to get those bids in. When it hits 30, we will say sold. There's always a lag. Don't try to get it for just $1 because you may not get it. Let me write sold. All right. It is sold to Blue. Let me make sure because sometimes they come in. Blue Flamingo, 18. Nancy McMullen, you are the backup. So we'll see what Blue Flamingo wants. I'm curious.
I know him. It could go either way. The Pixie. Aha. Okay.
Oh, gee. All right. So the Pixie is gone. We have the little chick. And our backup bidder is Nancy. Nancy McMullen, would you like the little, the sweet little chick here? Let me know if you wanted it. If you don't want this one, Nancy, it'll be up for grabs and the price is 18. So George is the winner. We're not really winning.
Everybody can win.
Yes. Okay. That was my choice. Okay. Does anybody want the chick? The chick is up for grabs if you want it. It is 18 if you want the chick. It's up for grabs. Anybody can take him.
Denise Carter says she wants him.
All right. Thanks, Denise. Okay.
Very cute.
We can do another one like that if you want, George.
Just let's do one more. Here. At least one more, yes.
Okay. What you got?
What do I have? Oh, I got to start this one. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I have a Royal Copley pitcher, and this one has the pears on the side, and I don't really see this very often from them. It's got their very glossy glaze from about 1950. It's a milk-size pitcher, measures about, well, let's see here, about 7 inches tall. So it's meant to hold a quart, and it's got fruit on the other side, and this one actually does have their logo on it. So
Okay.
right
What are you
from
going to
about
start that one
1950,
at?
I have a lot of Ohio pottery tonight. And what do you have?
I have this.
Ooh, also Royal Copley. How perfect.
It says water something on the bottom of it. I do not know what that means.
Water glycerin mix. Oh, somebody mixed something in it one time, but that's definitely a Royal Copley dragon piece. That's cool.
Yeah. So we're going to do choice of either one. And where's our start going to be?
Well, you get to choose this time.
Let's go ahead and do $10.
Okay. $10 starting, folks. Your choice of Royal Copley pieces. They're both great. It's a great company. I thought they made really neat stuff, and they were one of the many Ohio potteries, but they were out in Sebring, Ohio, not in Zanesville, where most of them were. And I see Pauline at $12. Oh, I could have cleaned that a little bit better. I did have this at one show. It got a little dust in it, so.
I usually clean them and then turn them upside down and drip the water all over me while I'm sitting.
Oh, gosh.
I did that fruit. Yeah.
I did that to a $20,000 table that we were delivering once to a golf course. They had a vase I wanted to look at. I didn't realize they had muddy water in it, and I poured it all over the table we just delivered. It was not one of my favorite moments.
So I'm going to measure mine. Mine is about 6 inches. So mine's about 6 inches tall. Definitely a different style for each one, but I love the glazed look of this pottery. It is just so awesome. I've always liked, I don't like the flat look. I like this glaze. I think it's so pretty. All right, we have 20 with Jen Scroggin. And you're going to go ahead and.
Quality is so good too.
Well, I think that's weird on the bottom of mine because mine's got that right in the. That's
weird.
Interesting.
And it seems like it's under the glaze. Maybe they were doing something at the factory. You never know. I mean, they use stuff for experiments too.
Yes. Okay, we're going to put the timer up. So now we got 30 seconds. We've slowed down a little bit. So we got 30 seconds. You'll get either one. We have 22 with Stephen Schultz. This is a timed lot. So you're going to get only the 30 seconds. Stephen Schultz is in at 22. Hi, Stephen. Nice to see you tonight. 164 peeps in the house for our first pottery sale. All right, here we go. Up and up and up she goes. The fruit or the dragon? What will it be? What will it be? 22, Stephen Schultz. Get your bids in. If you are being active out there bidding, you want to get them in. You don't want to lose it. We have 10 seconds left. You're going to get your choice of Royal Copley pieces. All right. And the timer's up. The time is out. Here we go. You cannot see the bids from other platforms unless you look on the screen. If you look on
the screen, it's the only way.
All right, Jennifer, you are the winner. Backup is Stephen Schultz. The high bid was 23. So Jennifer, let us know which one you'd like. Jennifer is the winner, the dragon or the fruit.
Or both. It is choice.
Yep. Okay, she's going to take yours. Okay, Jennifer gets the picture. Stephen, did you want the dragon? Stephen Schultz, if you want the dragon, you can get that for 23 also. If not, it's up for grabs. No, thank you. Okay, up for grabs. Anybody wants that dragon, you can have it. I'm not spelling very well. Up for grabs on the dragon. I don't know what that is on the bottom, but it's really quite strange. If you want the dragon, he is going to be 23. Polly. Okay, thanks, Polly.
Oh, and for you folks, just to let you know, if you are in a Facebook group or somewhere else, please send an email to me if you win the item at theantiquenomad@gmail.com. And that way I'll be able to send you an invoice.
Yes. Maybe I have still have your, I don't. His is easy. The Antique Nomad. And mine is Rosie's Auction House. So we can always get a hold of each other.
Both at Gmail. Yeah.
Yep.
Easy.
Okay. So what do you want to do now, George? You want to go solo? You want to do another one? It's totally up to you.
Let's do one more. I thought that was fun. Let's do one more challenge.
One more challenge, and I'm the challenger. I've not been very good lately, so let's do this. Now, I saw you talk about one of these.
Oh, this is cool. Yes.
Yeah, so how do you say that?
Niloic.
I thought it was Van Briggle when I got it.
It looks like Van Briggle. It's that great plum glaze, and they. I just did a video on Monday that happened to be in Arkansas where that was made, and they had a bunch of that company stuff, and they did great glazes. And it was kaolin spelled backwards. Kaolin is one of the ingredients in clay that you use in pottery, so they were just being clever. And,
okay.
Let's see. I've got to put something against that. Where are we going to start this?
I don't care. You can start it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Since we're on an animal kick, now this, I do not know who made this. It is American. It is a zebra, and it is a wall pocket. You can see the little hole in there to hang. And I just think he's really cool looking. I think both of these are interesting in their own way. Let's start at $15 on this one.
Okay, 15. We'll start again. So exactly how we've been doing it. When the bidding starts slowing down, then we'll put the timer on. Yeah, they're about the same size too, aren't they?
Yes, I think mine's about 4.5 inches and maybe 5 wide.
Okay, mine is 6 inches, and you see the mark on the bottom. Now this also has the original tag, but you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it that well, but it's there. I didn't take it off.
That's great. Yeah, and that's the older one that looks like a ceramic pot. That's really cool. Later on, they switched it to where it looked like the outline of the state of Arkansas. Oh, no, that was Camar. See, I'm getting confused.
All right, Kelly Kester's in at 15. Funny girl, we see you last, but you came in a little bit slower, so just make sure you watch that screen over there, and that's the high bid at 15 right now. Hi, Corrine. Hi, how are you doing tonight? $16 is bid with less. So we give it just a minute or so, and then we put the timer on for 30 seconds. You'll get choice of either one. That zebra is pretty cool.
I do like the zebra. And you know what's really funny? And it's definitely an American piece because it's glazed on the bottom. The Japanese didn't usually do that. What's really funny to me is that I think they may have made it as a vase as well, because look how he has an impression for an eye on the back. I'll bet they just changed the mold and made it into a wall pocket. They were very clever at that.
Okay, we are at 17, 18.
If anybody knows who did this zebra, put it in the comments, but I have not seen him before.
No. And you watching George, you need to watch George if you're not a regular, if you're on Rosie's and you're not familiar with George. He just had these in a video, and I really thought this was Van Briggle till I picked it up today, and I'm like, holy smokes. But it's really cool. All right. Here we go. We're going to do the timer. $19 with Kelly Kester. And we're going to go up 30 seconds. Hi, LaDonna.
Oh, yeah. LaDonna's right. I've seen other zebras in other forms, and yeah, none of them have ever had a mark. That's true. Treasure Craft even did one, and they didn't mark it.
No, not just in cases. It's 30 seconds and out on the timer. 30 seconds and sold. If we get a better piece, we'll say no timer, and we'll ask you to go out. All right, here we go. $20 is bid. 27. We got 10 seconds left. Get your bids in there. 5 seconds and go. Okay. Let me go ahead. We'll see. Good luck, everybody. Okay, Jen Scroggin, you are the winner at $30, and Les, you are the backup. So, Jen, which one would you like for 30? The swan or the zebra? George is trying to get 10,000 followers on Facebook. Help him out.
You're way past that, aren't you?
Yes. We have man, we're putting on 100 followers a day right now. Okay, Jen takes I got that one. Jen took me the swan. Well, and our backup is Les. So Les, if you want the zebra for that price, you can get it. Just let us know. That was $30. Thank you, LaDonna. You just subscribed to George.
Well, thank you, Pauline.
All right, Les, let us know. $30 if you want the zebra.
Okay.
If not, it'll be up for grabs.
No
You're gonna
problem.
pass.
Yep, okay, let's do it up for grabs.
Yep, up for grabs. If anybody wants the zebra, he's $30.
And he won't take any space on your already full china cabinet.
Okay. If you want him, you just have to say zebra and you can claim him. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you want to do one solo?
Yeah, that sounds great. Why don't you go ahead? I keep doing that to you. Do you want me to go?
I'll put something up, but keep in mind, George, anytime I put something on and you have something similar in value, you want to go ahead and do that, you just let me know.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is this piece of Van Briggle. So I have this really cool ashtray. It says Van Briggle, Colorado Springs. There's the hallmark on the back. And it is in that same color as that swan. I don't know if this has a particular name, but this is going to be number 4 for me. And it is Van Briggle. And we'll start it out at 10. So I'm going to measure it for you. It's about 7 inches long and about 4 inches wide. And it is Van Briggle. There is, oops. So, George, is Van Briggle completely out of business? Because
yeah, I think they did finally close from what I understand, which is too bad. Although, you know, a lot of those, like Francoma is sort of open again and they're making a few things and using some of the original molds, and Van Briggle may be a situation like that, but they did actually close, I think, 10 or 15 years ago, finally.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they were so contemporary, because I have one piece I think that was dated, and I'm like, you know, I was really surprised that it was like in the 90s. I didn't think they were.
Oh yeah, no, they made such great stuff, and the colors were so good that it really transcended time. And so yeah, they were like a lot of the companies made it through the 90s, and then when the Gulf War happened, the price of natural gas shot up, and a whole lot of glass and pottery companies gave up then.
Okay. My email is rosiesauctionhouse@gmail.com. We have $10. Sarah, Pauline, let me know if you want to go a little higher. We'll start the timer. So get your bids in. We'll do 30 seconds and out. rosiesauctionhouse@gmail.com. It's an easy one. So it is that beautiful, like deep eggplant color. I don't know. It's really neat. It's the same color as the swan. All right, we're going to go up 30 seconds and out. Hi, Elderly Poodle. This is Van Briggle. $10 is bid. I wouldn't have recognized the ashtrays. I like ashtrays. I don't know why. I've never smoked, but I like ashtrays. I pick them up. Ashtrays and lighters, I don't know why. Don't know why.
I know. I do too. And it's not anything I ever use, but there's just something, I don't know. They're definitely retro.
I know. All right. It's okay. Let me see here. I have to manually type in sold. So there we go. Let's see where we're at. Sarah, you are new to me. So there is my email. If you could take a screenshot and just send me an email, I'll invoice you right back on that same email. You are the winner of that for 13. And that is Sarah VTWL. All right. Thank you.
All right. Where did it go? Here we are. Well, it would not be a pottery sale. Most of what I have tonight is American. I have one exception, I believe, but it would not be a pottery sale if you did not have a piece of McCoy. So I am going to put up the triple tulip next. I've always been a big fan of this vase. This and the blossom where they have the pink flower attached to the outside are two of my favorite McCoy patterns. And I have just always liked this. This one has a good mark. Not all of them do, but this is when they were starting to, in the 40s, to sell up in Canada. So they started putting USA on things. And it says McCoy USA. And you can see that it has this big dry foot. And that what that is to keep it from sticking to the kiln. So they would glaze underneath so that it wouldn't leak. But then they had to leave this part dry so that they didn't have to snap it off and maybe break the piece. It's in great shape, no chips or cracks. And I'm starting this at $19, which is about half of what I typically sell them for. So have fun. $19 is the opening bid. It does have one little glaze, a little bit of green splashed up apparently when they were making this particular one. So you see that on there. Anna Mora is at 19. Thank you, Anna. And I always like the tracery, the fact that they were really, it's funny. I called it tulips, but I think it's probably lilies, actually. It's just abstract enough. We've got Anna at 22. It is a calla lily. Thank you very much, Miss Wildlife. Yes, as soon as that came to mind right when you put that up on the screen. So thank you. It is calla lily, not tulip. They do have a tulip. It's very nice. It's lavender. These are calla lilies, so we'll try to keep our flowers straight. I have to admit, I mainly only know about flowers thanks to pottery. I will have some Roseville pieces coming up later, and I do know what patterns they are. Makes me think of Bonanza for some reason. It does have that rustic look. That was one thing I always liked about McCoy was that it definitely has a rustic feel. They were starting to make better quality by this time, but still, it's a little bit more crudely formed, a little more naturalistic. And I think that's why people really like collecting it now, because it wasn't really trying to be perfect. It was trying to suggest nature. And I think that actually is more appealing to some people than stuff that's really, really finished. Sure. Lynn is at 35. Thank you. And I see Anna is out. Let us know if anyone else is in, but we should probably hit the 30-second window here and count down.
Facebook user, put your name in there so we know who you are. But you're the high bid right now.
Yes, you're the high bidder at 39. Linda McPhee at 36, but we do have someone at 39 already.
Calla lilies are beautiful, Southern. They certainly are.
I really do think they're nice. And this one doesn't have a lot of, little crazing or staining on it either. So it's really a nice example, I think. Linda McPhee is at 40 and time is ticking very quickly. Boy.
Yes. And Gail,
anxiety watching it.
Gail, make sure you just put Gail in your bid so we can see you.
Beverly has some tulip pieces, and it's too bad I don't have one to show you since I called it wrong. Okay, very good. So it looks to me, well, who do you show?
Linda.
Linda,
for
very
40.
good.
Okay.
Linda McPhee.
I do have some more Van Briggle, and I'm going to do choice. If we start getting too many bids towards the end, we will ask you if you're in or out. We just want to move this along, don't we, George?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I know some of you bid higher after that last one, but if you see that timer, you get that bid in right away because with lag and everything, 30 seconds might be it. So.
Okay, we're going to do choice on this one, and this is Van Briggle. And we're going to start these at 15. You'll get choice, and you can take both if you want. Hi, Donna. And these are kind of like little buds, I guess. I don't know. They're little buds.
Yeah, those are cute.
They both have the hallmark on the bottom. And this one is that. Is there a name for this color?
Oh yeah, there is. I should know this. It's supposed to be like the Purple Mountains Majesty in Colorado, and there is a specific name, and it's escaping me right now. Someone out there who knows Van Briggle will help us out, I think.
Yes. So here we are. They're both Van Briggle. I will sell at least one. When I put choice up, I'll sell at least one. We'll see what the price goes for, but I'm always on for one. All right, so choice at 15, and here we go. LaDonna says mulberry tulip. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, mulberry. Thank you, LaDonna.
This is the mulberry tulip. And this must be, this must have a name too, but this beautiful color is great. It's like the outline of these flowers is blue, and then the inside is this beautiful soft green. They're just gorgeous. They would be great to just have as sort of a set, but I thought it was kind of neat to put them up together. We have Jennifer at 15. Julie Perkins, I see you're 15, but it was too late. Martha is at 16. So I'm kind of letting you bid for a minute or so before I put the timer on. So, you know, when I see the bid start slowing down, then I'll put the timer on. That's kind of how it works. All right. So you get your choice of either one. And welcome 211 peeps. We are so happy to see you tonight. Each one of these beautiful flowers is about 4 inches tall. They are made by Van Briggle Pottery out of Colorado. They are in perfect condition. We have $20 bid with Kim Allen out of Michigan. She is a fellow Michigander. $20 with Kim. All right. I think we're going to start doing the timer and wind it down. So here we go. It's a very good turnout. So remember, we use the timer to account for the lag. You should already have your bids in, but if you want to get some last minute ones, you got 30 seconds to get them in there. Kim is in at 20. You'll get choice. 22 with Julie. Yeah, it does kind of, bloodstone would be a good name, or eggplant. This one is, I love the blues and the greens on this one. It's so pretty. Julie is in at 22. The blue is called Ming. Okay. All right. We have $22 bid for choice. Facebook user, I'll take your bid, but you need to put your name in there. Kim, you're going to have to go higher. We only have 7 seconds left. Get those bids in. 24, Lori Galloway, another Michigander. All right. All in, all done. Don't want to cut you off, but we got to at some point. Lori Galloway, $24. Would you like 1 or 2? Lori Galloway is the winner. Antiques for you. Just let us know, Lori. Okay, you got it, baby. All right.
Yeah, both together. That was a good choice. They should definitely stay together. Well, I'm going to do choice, and this is going to be an interesting choice for somebody. I thought I would do something that was pottery, but was very modernist. I only have, I think this is the old, now I've got one more. I've got a couple other California pottery companies, but this one's definitely the wildest because this is Sasha Brastoff. And this is going to be a choice, believe it or not. I have 2 different eras of his production that I'm showing here. This one, the little flower vase with the orange enamel painted center, and see all the gold tracery when you get up close in the detail. It has the Sasha B name painted there on the bottom and nothing underneath. And that means it's from his first factory, which was on Wilshire Boulevard in Hollywood area between 1947 and 52. And then I think there was a fire and they rebuilt. And in the new factory where this with the Ming and the rooftops are shown, the Ming tree has the rooster label. That's from the second factory. And that one went till about 1963. So it is your choice between the 2. I love the designs. Okay. Let's get this started. $9 is the opening bid. It's going to be choice of one or both. $9 opening bid. So we have the tray. This is going to be from the late 50s. You can definitely tell by the design. And let me just sort of start at the top and let it roll up here where you can see the whole thing. I just think this is such a great shape and it's such a neat design. The colors, you can see the gold. These were just very elaborate designs. He'd been a set designer in Hollywood and got noticed by a financier who found out he'd also done ceramics in New York and said, hey, I'll set you up with a ceramic studio because you've got design. And they went ahead and made things for about 10 years. And for a while, he was the darling of Hollywood. a whole lot of famous people. The Gabor sisters collected it. And then this one, which is the earlier one, is nice because it's got great detail. Again, you see that gold tracery. It's very, oh, it's a little dirty right there. Well, I'll clean before I send. Sorry about that. And then on the backside, these cameras are a little too good. And then on the backside, it's painted with the flowers all the way. Now, the little bed vase is 6-inch tall. The tray is actually about 12 inches all the way, about 11, I think, actually, when I measured it. So really cool pieces, really fun, great background. I wanted to bring something that was just a little different and really fun and modernist. And it looks like you folks are responding because I see we have a bid of 35. So I'm going to just shut up and maybe let Rosie put the timer up, and we'll give you one more chance to bid. So get your bids in. It's going to be choice, either or both.
All right.
Tracy's at 38.
30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I do think they're really neat, and the colors are good, and no damage. It's interesting to see these coming out of collections because it was very popular in the 90s, and we haven't seen a lot of it on the market since then. And now just this last year, 3 different collections came to me where I was able to get a large chunk of a collection all at once. So Facebook, Cheryl Kemp, $49. Thank you. This is going to be choice, either or both. And I know we've got some other folks in the $40 range, but 49 is our bid, it looks like. What say you, Heidi?
Yep, that's for sure. Let's see where we're at. It looks like, yep, Cheryl, where is she? Cheryl Kemp for $49. Cheryl, which one would you like, if not both?
Yes, let us know, one or both. And if it's one or the other, let me just put your name down here.
And Cheryl's from Facebook, so I have her information if you don't have it. Remember, theantiquenomad@gmail.com is George's email address if you need to get a hold of him. And Cheryl, let us know which one.
I'll take the Asian motif. Okay, very good. That's this one. So I'm going to set that aside for you. And then if our backup bidder is interested in this piece, it is available.
Okay, Cheryl Etler. Cheryl Etler, if you want that one for the same price, let us know. If not, it will be up for grabs. Cheryl Etler, if you'd like that piece, let us know. Hi, letter artist. Good to see you. Hi, Debbie M. Jana Overstreet. Wow, we've got a good turnout here tonight. Okay. I do not see Cheryl. So it is up for, okay. It's up for grabs if anybody wants that piece. So let us know. Looks like George is, okay. I might have to go in and out because I'm having a little bit of wonkiness happening here. All right, up for grabs.
T. Durham. Well, thank you very much. I'd be happy to send that to you. So I'm going to make a note. And again, please contact me because I don't know if I have your information. And even if you're my very best friend and you live next door and you bought 20 things from me, still please do send me an email. It's the best way. Okay.
Or you can put your email in the comments there too, George, or let me do it. The theantiquenomad@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you very much. That was fun.
There it is. Okay. All right. Okay. It's my turn. I have this piece of Roseville, and I think it has cherry blossoms on it. I love the twig handles. It's a really big bowl. Bowls are always difficult to see because you think that, I don't know what it is about the cameras, but they always look smaller than they actually are. This is a really nice big bowl. It is Roseville. I'm going to start this one out at 25. So this is going to be number 6. Number 6, Roseville. I always want to put Rosieville. All right. looks like we have a bid, 25 with Debbie. Make sure you watch the screen for the first 25. We had a couple come in there, and I will go ahead and grab them as I see them. Corrine is in at 30. It's in really good shape. Yeah, I have to tell you, every time I put Roseville down, it's Roseville, and I should just leave it because you guys know what I'm doing. I don't mean to do that. There is the bottom. There's something about just the old printing on the bottom that is so cool. It's in very good shape. It has the twig handles. We have $40 with Nancy.
I just love the way they feel so soft too. There's something about the glaze. You can rub it and it doesn't feel like a hard piece of, earthenware.
Yes. $40 is bid. I'm going to measure it across again. So from handle to handle, it's about 10 inches. And then from bottom to top, it's about 6.5, 7 inches. Gail is at 41. Is it dogwood? I don't know. It probably is dogwood.
It's they did apple blossom and cherry blossom, and I think those are the cherries.
Those are the cherries. Okay. We have 41. I'm going to go ahead and put the timer on. I think we've had plenty of time here. So get your bids in. You'll have 30 seconds now. The color is dreamy. It's like this creamy mauve. 45. And it will sell at the end of the timer. Janet, it is showing up as brown. No, it's a mauve, but it's a weird colored mauve. It almost has, a little bit of brown tones in it.
But it's pinker than it looks.
Yes.
On my screen anyway.
Katie is in at $50. It's going to sell when the timer's up. You can all see it on your screen. You see taupe? No, there's a little pink in it. Okay.
Yeah, it looks taupe on my screen, but it's definitely pinker in person. Just a shade rosier than that. Rosier.
Okay. Always watch the screen for the bids. Let's see where we're at. Connie gets it for 51. Okay, Connie, we've done business before, correct? I'm going to put my email up there just so you can send me. I get you mixed up with Corrine sometimes. So I'm going to put you down for number 6, the Roseville. And I'm going to put my email up there again. What did you get that for? 51. Okay, that's a good deal. And here is my email. Just send me an email and I'll invoice you right back. And thank you so much. All right.
I like Roseville a lot, and I like all of the big companies out of that era. And there was one big company in Los Angeles that a lot of people have not heard of. So I do have one other California pottery maker, and that is Pacific Pottery. And it's funny that people now haven't heard of them because back in the day, they were one of the big 5. They were just as big as Vernon and Metlocks and Franciscan and Bauer. And they did very well. I think they kind of faded away after the Second World War, but there's the mark. This one has a pretty heavy glaze, so it's a little hard to read, but it says Pacific Los Angeles under the bottom there. And this one I got when I was shopping with Tiffany from Thrifting Vegas and Danny, the niche lady, when I was in Las Vegas in December. And I got this and 2 other pieces that I thought were also interesting that were a little more obscure. Those are currently on my eBay, so they don't close until this weekend. So if you're not finding enough pottery here, you might check out those. But this Pacific piece, I am starting out at $19. It's from about 1940. It's a very, very pristine white color. Ivory colors were really big in the late Art Deco period. And you can see where they've done sort of an Art Deco design with the medallion, even though it has a Chinese flavor to it or an Asian flavor to it. So I thought it was a really neat piece. It measures, let's see. It measures 6.5 inches, and it's sort of a semi-gloss glaze. It's got a little shine to it. It's not as completely unglossy as a matte glaze, but it's not a heavy, heavy gloss either. So it's kind of a nice medium place. And with so many people doing a lot of white and gray in interiors, I just thought it was a good time for it. So I see we have Miss Wildlife at 22. and she gets it because she's out in the Northwest and they know this stuff out there. So I just thought it was a neat piece. I like
the color.
Yeah, I do too. I think there is something about white. A lot of modernists really like white because it's just
yes.
It shows the form and it's very graceful. So with that, I think we have one person who shares my taste at least. So we'll go ahead and run the timer. If anyone else likes this as much as we do, well, this is your chance. So go ahead and make that bid. But do look for Pacific Pottery. And when you do, a lot of times the label is, the glaze was very thick on the bottom, so it's going to look blurry like that. So just look closely, but it's always round like that with the stock number in the middle and Pacific Los Angeles around it. And yes, Miss Wildlife, I appreciate that. So what is the relief in the circle? It's really just to, it's based on sort of Asian design. It's supposed to look like a Chinese character, perhaps, or fenstration with a leaf. It's not very specific, and that's deliberate. So very good. Do we have it?
We're getting there. There we go.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Miss Wildlife. It's a wonderful piece, and I'm glad to send that along to you.
He doesn't look blurry to me. He looks fine. Does anybody else have any problems? I don't think so. I'm having a little bit of audio problems.
I might have needed to hold that a little closer. I'll bear that in mind. Sometimes with white, the design sort of blurs out and it looks fine on my end, but it isn't necessarily.
Okay, this is a piece of Moorcroft. Moorcroft pottery. I wrote it down what it was. George, I don't know if you know what it is. Moss. The design, I can't remember. I wrote it down and then I went out to dinner. John says, you want to get an ice cream? And I'm like, okay, I'm gone. So I forgot to write it down. But I looked this up because I'm not that familiar with Moorcroft. I just love it. It's made in England. But this piece is on eBay for $254. I guess it's really nice stuff.
Moorcroft is good.
So I'm going to start this piece at 50. And it is Moorcroft. Yeah, he just said, what do you want to do? You want to go to the Dairy Queen? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. All right, so $50. I think that's pretty reasonable for this, considering for what I've seen them go for. It does have a name to it. It's the Moorcroft, and then the pattern has a name to it. It's quite popular. There is one on eBay for $254. So I'd like to start it out at 50. There is the hallmark on the back. And I'm assuming that the initials, what are the initials? Is that the painter?
Well, William Moorcroft, he was the original, he was the founder of the company. So it's a tribute to him. And that is a beautiful piece. Moorcroft is really collectible. These sorts of tree and landscape images, I think, are a sort of a middle 20th century period, because they started with a lot of flowers and then they developed into other things. And I think with the orange colors there, you're probably looking at something that's, mid-century, but it's done in this really great Art Nouveau way. So Mamura pattern, LaDonna is telling us. That's great. Thank you, LaDonna.
See, I got I couldn't get the rest out. All right, $50 is bid. Anybody else? I think you would be able to resell this for that. So that's fine with me. It is Moorcroft, made in England. I'm show you the back one more time before we'll put the timer out, and I'm going to measure it for you. 55/60. It is 10 inches across. And it is beautiful. I love this. It almost looks like a stained glass window or something. All these pieces, I have about 20 of them. And I'm really attracted to them. This one was just, for me, I like little vases and not plates as much. So I decided I would put this up and see what it was going to bring. But it is beautiful. We have $65. Nancy, Katie, get your bids, and I'm going to put the timer on here in just a second. This is my number 7. Yeah, they are, Polly. I love it. It does. It kind of looks like a stained. It's Croft, not Craft. Did I say Moorcroft? I meant Moorcroft. I'm sorry. All right, $70. It's in wonderful shape. And it's so nice to see so many new people that I have not met before. I just want to say thanks for attending tonight. And here we go. We're going to put the timer on. We've got lots more coming up. So 30 seconds and out on this one. Moorcroft. Nancy, I see your 75, but T. Durham beat you to it. So get your bids in. 30 seconds and out. We don't wait. It's just like a regular auction. I am an auctioneer. So when the hammer comes down and that's the timer, it's going to be sold to the highest bidder. It's weird not to hear the music. I know. I know. And I always have music running, but we don't want the echo today. And I don't want to miss anything George has to say about these pieces because I love to learn too. All right. We have 2 seconds left. All right. You're singing in your head. I know I am too. All right. It is sold. It looks like it's sold to T. Durham for $99. All right. You are new to me. So I'll put my my email up there. And just take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot of your plate and the email, T, and I will go ahead and write you down. And just email me and I'll invoice you right back on that email. Thank you.
That was a beautiful piece, and that was a very fair price. I think T. Durham should be very happy about that piece. I think for fun, we'll just go in a completely different direction because we had a very serious piece by a very studied and esteemed company, and now we're going to give you a choice of 2 pieces that are nothing close to serious, but they're wonderful. And it is these. And we are going to start these out. Our opening bid is $9 each on these, and I'll tell you a little about each one. So it's the owl versus the skunk for $9 each. It's choice of either or both at the high bid. This little owl is by another California artist, a pretty well-known one, who has been very collectible over the years by the name of Kay Finch. And this is the little owl. She did a giant-sized one too. But there's the Kay Finch label, Kay Finch, California. And Kay Finch really loved whimsy. She loved doing these very sculpted designs, animals and people. If you look at the eyes and see those little curly cues, the little tendrils painted on, that was absolutely a Kay Finch hallmark. So those are, there's sometimes when the smaller pieces like this, it's very obscure and hard to read the printing, especially if it went in the vent hole. And so sometimes you will not recognize these unless you know what to look for. So these are really great. So that is the Kay Finch. And then the other choice, straight from Japan, about 10 years later in the 50s, came this little skunk. And if I'm reading he's got the Japan label, and I don't see a company of origin name, but he looks like a Norcrest to me. And he just has the silliest, goofy expression. I love the fur. A lot of people are collecting these fur-bearing critters now. And it's just a wonderful piece of faux fur put on. And also he has a fabric flower that he's holding. And in very typical 1950s, 60s Japanese style, the eyes are just a little bit crazy and just off a little bit somehow in a way that I find personally very beguiling. So, so like I said, these are not serious pieces, but I think they're seriously fun. And I see that we have a bid of 15 is the current high bid on these. It will be choice of one or both. And again, get your bids in because pretty shortly here, we will put up the timer and start winding down. So, but they're both lots of fun for different reasons. And we currently have a high bid of $15. And yes, he does look a little bit like Pepe Le Pew, although not a sanctioned Disney piece. I will have a Disney piece coming up pretty soon, though. And if you're an owl person, well, this is definitely a pretty cute owl in the pink and green. Is it an attempt to be flower? Well, sort of a vague attempt because they didn't have the rights to do an actual Disney character. So we have about 12 seconds left. So get your bids in. We're at $18 choice currently. And
hey, Ruthie.
Hi, Ruth. Hey, Susan Jackson, nice to see you here. Nice to see all of you here, actually. I see a lot of familiar names. We'll have some really nice pieces coming up and some more fun pieces coming up, so stick with us here. And who do we have?
It looks like Ruthie.
Okay, Ruth, tell us if you are interested in the skunk or the K-finch owl, or if you're interested in both, we can send both of them to you. So, and while you do that, I'm going to set these down.
Let us know, Ruthie.
And Ruth,
$20 is the winning bid.
And let me write down in the chat here, please send.
She wants the owl.
The owl, okay, very good. To the antique. I'm not doing this well.
And Katie, you are the backup. Katie, if you want the skunk for that price, you can have it.
Okay, that's great. So the skunk is up as the second batch there. I got a little thing in telling my email for invoice because Ruth, I don't think I've gotten to meet you before. So I'm going to make a note that that one is for you.
Okay.
And if anyone
Katie,
is...
you are the backup if you want the skunk.
Yes, that's right. That's this little guy right here.
Okay.
He looks very sweet. He's all ready for Valentine's. He's got a flower. He looks like he even got a kiss on the mouth. All
right. We'll wait to hear for Katie just a second.
Oh, the bot will do it. Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Ah, yes, typing is noise. Right. Thank you. It's been a while since I've done a live. Okay, well, let us know about Mr. Grabs. Otherwise, we'll up for grabs. Very good.
If anybody wants him, that one is, I think $20. Is that what? Yes. Yeah, $20. That's a good deal for $20. $20 on that skunk. Somebody pick him up. All right. Anybody want him for 20? If you do, we'll try to remind you. Yep. Just say skunk. Skunk, Kathy G.
Ah, thank you. Very good to see you, Kathy. I'll make a note of it.
All right. Kathy G is on Facebook. It's theantiquenomad@gmail.com, Kathy, or you can contact me if you forget and I'll get you in touch with you. Yeah. All right. I have this beautiful piece of Weller. It is very unusual for me. I mean, I haven't seen it before. It says Weller Pottery on the bottom, and I love the script. It's just wonderful. The color is gorgeous. No problems with it at all. And it is 9 inches by 8 inches. I'm going to go ahead and start this one at 25. And you don't have to wait for me to type it in. If you just want to start it, and when I say that, just, go ahead and type it in. I'll catch your bid. This is number 8. Yeah. Starting these lower so everybody gets a chance. All right. We have 30. So it's really neat. We have $30. Really like that piece. I do too. I think the color is awesome. All right, we have 30, and that is with Corinne K. There is the Weller on the bottom. 32 with Cheryl. Could I please describe the color? The leaves are kind of terracotta. Let me see. I have a warmer light on. If it's not, it's kind of like the border of this page. It's I don't know what color to call it. Okay. Gail's at 38. It's kind of a light chocolate leaf, and this is a little bit like a buff color. Yeah. 38 with Gail. Butterscotch. Oh, what would we do without LaDonna? You are so right, LaDonna. Butterscotch and caramel. That's what it is. Yummy. Gail's at 38. Dijon mustard. Could be. Okay, we have 38 with Gail. It's just real unusual. I wouldn't have recognized this as Weller. All right, 38 with Gail. And how old is this, George? Would you say this is in the 40s, maybe 50s?
I think it's actually earlier. I think it's late 20s, early 30s, because it's got that Art Deco linear aspect around the top. And Weller went out of business in 48. So that would be the very last year for them.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown here in a minute. You see on the bottom, the Weller Pottery logo on the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and start the timer and give you about 30 more seconds.
Ooh, it does look like hot buttered rum. Or maybe you're just saying you need hot buttered rum. Either way. That mark was 1927 to 33. Thank you. That makes sense because it matches a piece I'll be showing soon. And that's what I saw too.
All right, get your bids in. We're using the timer because we want to move. George and I both have a good bunch of stuff to sell tonight. All right. We have 40 with Kim. Gail, I see your 40, but we already have it. We got about 15 seconds left. Don't lose it for a buck. Don't lose it for a buck. That would be horrible. We have about 10 seconds left. All right. And the clock goes up, up, up. Oops. And some of this time accounts for human error. Sometimes I don't type it in as quickly as I like to. All right. It looks like Christine Smith, but we're going to wait just a second. It is. Christine Smith gets it for $44. Thank you, Christine.
Well, I have to admit, I was going to hold it till closer to the end, but I am now inspired after seeing that Weller piece go. I'm going to put my Weller piece up too, because I just got one. I was at the West Palm Beach Antique Fest this weekend at the big extravaganza, and I walked outside, and unfortunately there was terrible rain, and the outdoor dealers were leaving as fast as they could, and one of them was happy to sell me this. And I think it's just a wonderful piece. It is Weller also. This is the Weller Goose Handle Jardiniere. And I believe that this mark is just after the mark that was on yours. So I think this is the 1933 era mark, but our gal in the out there in the audience who seems to know Weller can confirm that for us. I really like the variegated glaze. I'm going to hold it up close so you can see how that really changes. And when you get it close to it, you really see how the glaze is like 2 or 3 different glaze patterns. That was very popular to do in the 30s. The geese just have these really great necks that come out. It was definitely sort of a transition into Art Deco era. It was definitely a transition for Weller to make these molded pieces. And I do think they're really cool. I'm going to start it at $39. It's also rather substantial. So 39 is the opening bid. It measures 6.5 inches tall, but it's 10 inches wide, and it is about 8 inches deep. So it is a medium-sized jardiniere. It was definitely meant to be. And you can see the variegation inside as well. So it's a really neat glaze. They were able to do this in a one-step process using chemicals. And it is really neat.
My favorite.
It's just fun. I like the golden glow to it. And yeah, I just thought this was a really unusual thing. So $39 is the opening bid. If anybody is interested, go ahead and get us started. And I see that Christine is at 40. I think it's just a wonderful, beautiful piece. And after you showed your Weller, I thought, oh, wow, because they have that same sort of base in terms of the base color. And I thought, oh, yeah, this will be a fun thing to show on the heels of that. And there is the Weller Pottery script signature that replaced the typewriter looking signature that they did before. We've got a Facebook user at 45. If you'll please identify who you are so we know, because we've got a bunch of different groups.
Yep. You're going to have to put your name in, Facebook user. We'll take your bid this once.
But yes, it is definitely something really different. And I saw someone saying, I've never seen anything like that. I think I've seen this piece maybe twice in my long career. It does not come up very often at all. So 45 for Gail. I think the retail value on this is somewhere in the 100 to 125 range, just so you folks have a point of comparison. But I got it specifically to bring to this. And I like how they use the green. The green is just sort of dripped to give a little bit of a shade or a blush, and also to almost make it look sort of aged, even though it has never been used. It's to give it sort of a classical look. So Barb Weeks, well, actually, we've got a couple people at 50, so someone's going to have to come up from there, I'm afraid. But it is a really, really beautiful piece, and I hope that somebody out there really enjoys it. I see Nancy McMullen at 55 is our current high bidder. Oh, I look aged too, Susan. That's why I'm hiding behind a jardiniere. Christine's at 55. And even in the bottom, you can see the way that the glaze pooled up around the edges, because when you use this sort of a chemical to get this, it's similar to what Francoma was doing at the same time with rutile. And when you do it, it pools up in certain areas. And so each piece is a little bit unique in a line like this, because where the effect goes is really just dependent on how the chemical reacts in the kiln. That's why you see it stronger in some places and less strong in other places. It tends to pool up around the raised parts and these molded pieces. So I think it's really neat. And we've got $60, Barb Weeks. I know there's a couple of folks. Christine was at 58, but Barb is the current high bidder.
You just let me know when you want me to start winding it down, George.
Okay, well, I'm going to let them have another moment or two. I honestly think this is one of the nicest things I brought this evening, so I don't mind to hold it. Although I have to say it's not light. Fortunately, it's small enough that it'll ship for a reasonable price. So. But yes, if you want to go ahead and start counting down, I think we can go ahead and do that. This is everybody's last chance. I know several of you seem to really like this piece. So this is your chance on it. If you're interested, please jump in now, because we're going to wind it down.
The handles are incredible. I love them. Okay,
the
here we go.
Really are great.
They are.
And, to make these forms, somebody has to sculpt this as an actual sculpture in the first place, so that they can make the molds for these things. So somebody had to do this as an actual sculpture and then went from there. And I see Les in Stumptown is at 75. I think Les knows a good thing. I actually learned about Weller pottery. The first time I saw a piece was in the Portland area when I was visiting down there. I got a white basket with this same signature on the bottom. Saw this price once before, and it was priced just south of 200. Yeah, it is a harder piece to find. It really is a good one. So it looks like we're going to have a winner here, but got some competition. Let's see what happens.
Right. We'll see. Let's make sure that sometimes somebody comes in last minute. It looks like Les got it for 85.
Oh, well, that's great, Les. Thank you. I think you're going to really enjoy that piece, and I'm glad you got it.
Okay.
And we'll keep looking for more for the rest of you folks. Yeah.
So really I have these Van Briggle Indians. I don't know anything about them. I don't think they're a set, but this came from a collection out of Indiana, Middle Indiana. This one says 1 of 2. So this one says 1 of 2, and this one is the one that is kind of a cream color. And then this next one says Little Star. And these hang on the wall. This is Van Briggle. This one says Little Star. And I'm going to go ahead and start these at 35. What do you think, George?
Those are great. And I'm sorry, I had to step away for a minute because my mom had a question. I think they're wonderful. I love the colors, and I've actually never owned those pieces because they're usually pretty far north of the price you're starting them at. So,
okay. Well, we're going to start them and see where they go. You guys usually know what they're worth. They are gorgeous. I don't know if they're, it looks like they're a male and female, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, here we go. So this one says 1 of 2. So I'm sure that one's pretty special. And there is that one. And this other one says Little Star, and it looks like there's the Indian name for Little Star. So you're going to get your choice of either one of these. And we have $45 bid. They came in a pair, but I don't know did these come in a pair, different colors like this? That's why I'm kind of selling them for choice. Little
no,
Star.
I think you're right. I think they're the same series, but those weren't sold as a pair.
Okay. So we have 50 with Steph. Now, if you measure these from top to bottom, they're going to be about 6 inches. 55 with Lynn. I just thought they were really neat. The gentleman that I've got these from, he has tons of Van Briggle. We got quite a few of his pieces, but he's about 92, 93 years old, and his wife and him collected Van Briggle most of their life. And to me, these were the coolest thing that I had gotten. I thought they were really neat. So we have a Lynn in at 55. So cool. You love Van Briggle. You know, I didn't know very much about it until I started hanging out with these YouTubers out here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let the timer go. We have $55. I'll show them to you one more time because I think they deserve a little more time. Here is the one that says 1 of 2. And there is the hallmark on the back. They do. They remind you of cameos, don't they? And here is the one that has the little star on the back. And it is so cool. And this one is more that turquoise and green color. Okay, I'm going to start winding it down. All right. Remember, when we do sell choice, we will sell at least one. We're up for one. I might not sell them both. You never know. But I'm always up for one when we do choice. $55 with Lynn. They are so cool. Look at that. All right, 55 with Lynn. This is for choice. I don't think you're going to find these every day. 55 is bid. All right, we got about 10 seconds left. They are in great condition too. And 2 seconds left. All right. Let's see who got it. Lynn, you got it. And I tell you what, I'm going to keep one of these for my cabin. So you pick one and I'm keeping one. Lynn got it for 55. And I think I've done business with you before, Lynn. Let me look up and see.
Oh, yes. She likes cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Gold Star Thrifters got to visit Van Briggle when you were in Colorado. I missed out. I really wish I'd gotten to see that. It was supposed to be quite an operation.
Where'd you go? Lynn, let me know which one you want, the blue one or the cream one. We'll see what she says.
She wants Little Star.
Little, okay. Oh, there she goes. I didn't see her. Okay, you want the blue one then, Little Star. Okay. And that was for 55. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Lynn, here's my email. I know you have it, but if you want to just send me an email, I'll get my invoice out to you. Thank you. All right. You're
Well,
up,
I didn't
George.
wear a big splashy flamingo shirt for nothing, so I thought I should bring one piece of pottery that represented tropics in Florida, since that's where I am right now. And so I'm going to put this up for sale. I just really like this piece. This is a transferware design, and it's English, and it's 1930s by a company called Greaves. And you can see their mark on the bottom. They're not a very well-known maker in England. Part of it is it's pretty lightweight for English ceramic, and that's because they had to ship it across the ocean if they wanted to sell it. But I think it's just got the greatest colors. It's right out of the 1930s, and it's just so full of color and so fun and splashy. I'm going to start this at $9. So $9 is the opening bid on this. And the other thing I need to show you before you go too crazy is right here. This is not a chip, but this was not expensive ware back in the 30s when it was made. Notice the gold paint goes into that dip. This was actually a factory second when it was made. So that is a factory flaw. And I want to show that to you very clearly so that you know what you're getting. Because for some people, they'd get it and say, oh, I'm very disappointed. That's not what I thought I was getting. So I just want you to have full representation, but it is a factory flaw, not damaged. So $9 is the opening bid on this. And yes, if you like color, we sold something that was a lovely plain white earlier. Well, now it's time for a really big splash of color. And this actually is a pretty substantially sized piece too. It is 8.5 inches tall. So Nancy McMullen is our opening bid at $10. 8.5 inches cylinder vase. I just think it's really fun. And with this shape, they'll arrange flowers well, but you can actually use them for other things. I've seen people stick plumes in them. I've known artists who use these for tall brushes. You never know what you can use a vase for besides just putting in flowers. I have lots of vases around the house that just sit there as little pieces of sculpture that I never actually use because I like pottery.
I do too.
Is it a bird motif? Yes, it is an exotic bird. You can see him right in the middle there with that big blue beak and the yellow face and the big eye and that sort of happy expression. The wings are chartreuse and orange and cobalt blue. So yes, it just packs a whole lot of color. And I love tropical stuff. I mean, you can tell by what I'm wearing tonight that
I didn't even notice the flamingos. Those are so cool, George.
Great. Yeah. The funny thing is that I think maybe it was the other flamingo shirt. One of my flamingo shirts I bought in a store in Montana. They were all half off. And I'm like, what are these doing here? And they said, we ordered elks and they sent us flamingos. So we've got Lynn and Ruth both at $20. Not a caterpillar, that's his wing. Yes, that's right. It's feathers underneath that you see there. And the wing goes all the way back, and then he's got the big droopy tail. I just like these. These almost look like balloons or bubbles, but I think they're supposed to be fruit, and that's why he's so happy, is he has found all the fruit up in the tree. So, and who made that again? This is a company called Greaves out of Burslem. Burslem is one of the towns in the Staffordshire region. There you go. Burslem is one of the towns in the Staffordshire area. I believe that Royal Dalton had a factory in Burslem. A lot of other companies did too. It says made in England because it was intended to be exported, because they knew that a lot of people who liked exotic birds would be people coming to places like Florida or Hawaii or that sort of thing. So I just think it's really fun. And we've got, I think George is afraid of close-ups. Okay, let me try to get it up a little closer. I'm so used to trying to hold it where you can see the whole thing that I realize I'm not showing all of the detail as well as I could. But we're at $22 here, and I think we can go ahead and wind this down. Oh, you have a 1932 bungalow. That would look really cool. 1932 is when my mother was born, actually. So that's a significant year. And actually, you don't see that many houses because that was a bad depression year. So you don't see a lot of houses from 32. $25 is our high bid currently, and we're just winding down here. But I'm glad you think this is fun. And this one, because it is not as heavy, is not going to be a big deal to ship either, which is nice. So,
All right. Watch the clock. 15 seconds left. Ruthie's in at 25.
And we'll give you one more spin around this, and you can see it's transfer wear because the transfer sort of, it's funny, they cut it in a way so that it kind of almost meets up, which is not that easy to do on these. Nancy at 28. And we'll see where the sold comes in. Okay. I think I see that. Do I see that right?
Yep.
Nancy McMullen. Well, thank you very much. It's a great piece. I'm glad you're getting it. And I'll put your name down right now.
Okay. So I have this piece, and I think it's Weller. It's gorgeous. I have a collection of this, and I just don't have room for this one. I've heard him say Lewesa, but I don't know if that's the style. I don't know. I like I like the design of these. They're very pricey right now. People are really into this vase. I know I have all different shapes of it. I love it. It's just a subtle design. I think is it Weller? I think it is. There is.
It looks like Weller's Lewesa, but the funny thing with those patterns is Weller and Owens and Roseville all made very similar patterns. And when one would become popular, they would hire the decorator from the factory across the street and say, do one for us. So it's really hard to tell unless you have a book.
I thought it was the whatever you said, Lewesa too. That's the one I thought.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's Weller Lewesa. It looks like the right flower for them.
Okay, so that's what we're going to call it. Because Lena says she thinks it is too. I want to start it at 50.
Yeah, Teofane says so too, and he's a Weller guy.
Yep, it's a good piece. I want to start that one at 50. So it's quite large. And it's 11 inches. I just like the subtleness of it. I have some Indians that are in this type of pattern that are really cool.
Oh, those are expensive.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I have quite a few of them. I just like Indian stuff. Okay, we have 60 with elderly poodle. So it's really pretty. And I've noticed just in collecting these myself that they have just really jumped in the last 5 years.
They are really making a comeback. It's all hand painted. I mean, it's really a lot of work, and it was pretty early for that kind of wear.
Yes. Hi, Eileen. You're right. There you go. $60 with elderly poodle.
Oh, yeah. She bought a piece for me, and I'm sure I can picture them together.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I hope you can see the design on there because it is so subtle. We have $60 with elderly poodle. It is an 11-inch tall vase. It's nice. It's just a nice size piece. So anybody else, will take the clock down if there isn't.
Oh, we have Steph Rook at 65.
There it is. Let me see. There we go. There we go. All right. We have 65 with Steph. It is gorgeous, Tracy. Hi, Joanne. 66 with Corrine. It's really pretty. It's kind of raised when you put your hand over it, you can feel the stem and the leaves.
Yeah, they really raised it like enameling. I mean, they use enamel in the paint, so it really has that texture, and I just always have really liked that about those.
Yes. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you. Okay, we have 68 with elderly poodle. I'm going to go ahead and put the timer on. Get your bids in. It is beautiful. I hope you're enjoying this pottery sale. I kind of had to talk a little bit George into it. He's not a real niche sale type person.
Yeah, but you know what? This is fun, and it was really fun picking it out because it's such a broad category, actually. So I'm glad you did.
Okay, Steph is in at 70. Get your bids in there. We had so much to sell tonight that we usually ask you if you're out, but tonight we just had too much to sell tonight. You're loving this, Ruthie. I'm loving having you guys here. What a great way to spend a Tuesday night. I love it.
Yes, Eileen, I was looking too to see if there was a signature on the front, and I couldn't tell. It's hard, one thing about the gloss glazes is, yeah, you can't really see them always. I mean, the reflection makes it a little hard to see how great these pieces are sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. But my gal, Christine Smith, got it for $83. All right, Christine, thank you.
That's really great. Well, let's put up another piece of Roseville because we had fun with one earlier, and I've got a piece that I think is rather nice that I just got from a collection. It has spent the last 50 years in a collection in Washington State, and it was they are downsizing, and they said that they were keeping certain colors, and they decided to sell this piece because they're not keeping the blue, but I always like this in the blue. This is the Blue Magnolia vase. And this particular one is marked on the bottom, number 103-6 inches. This is going to start at $29. So $29 is your opening bid on this Roseville vase. I like to show the bottoms because one of the reasons collectors like them, besides the fact that the colors are really great and the glazes are really subtle and there's a lot of neat design to it, is they're easy to identify because look at the number with the 6-inch mark, you know right away how tall it is. Don't have to think about it at all. Frank Farrell, who was the designer of these, figured out that if he took floral and natural patterns from the Art Nouveau period and gave them a little bit of an Art Deco twist, that people would really like that because those were the two design phases that were hot right before this was made. And he hit it just right. This particular line was one of the ones they made for the longest time. And I think it was done until about the time that they quit doing the floral lines like this in the late 40s. And I like all the subtlety in the painting. If you look at the flower, notice all of the veins in the flower. And what's neat about it is that what they did is they painted the glaze on in a way where it was thin enough that those veins are actually the color of the clay coming through. So there was a lot of subtlety. They hired pretty good decorators. It wasn't just something where you just slap some colors on, which is why the Chinese reproductions are really easy to tell apart, thankfully. I like the trail of leaves that comes down from underneath this too. I just always thought these were neat pieces. So we've got, I think we've got Lynn at $48, I think is our current high bidder. And I know a bunch of you are interested in this piece, but I think just because we want to try to get, I don't know, maybe another 4 or 5 pieces a piece in, I think we'll go ahead and wind this down, even though I know a lot of you are interested. So do put in your final bid because we're going to put the timer up here in just a second. And it will go to the highest bidder.
I had a little signal issue there. Can you hear me okay, George?
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
No chips, cracks, or damage, by the way. I always, sometimes I forget to say that. If I don't say it, then you can assume that that's the case because I always try to reveal any flaws in something beforehand. Ruth at $60.
All right.
Okay, Lynn says she's out. We've got 3 of you folks still. Katie at 66.
You just give me the word when you want the timer.
Yes. And you know what? You said clematis instead of dogwood. You were probably right. I am so bad about that with the flowers. I apologize. I thought I said magnolia too. Boy, I am way out there. Clematis is correct. If that matters to anybody who bid, I will let you take it back. But it is clematis. And that is actually correct. So Okay, Jana's at 70. I don't know if you want to do a timer or just see if people are in or out, but I guess we've got a couple of folks still bidding. So we've got 2 at 70 and 1 at 66. We're going to go ahead and run that timer for you. So let us know and we'll wind this one down.
Okay.
I feel like I should sing or something. You probably don't think I could sing. And there's our mark on the bottom again. Notice for you folks who are wary of Roseville because you've heard of reproductions, notice the clay is tan. The reproduction clay seems to be a very white color. So that's a good thing to look for as well. Jana at 70 is currently our high bidder, and we're going to see if anyone else comes in, and we'll mark it sold.
All right. Looks like Jana.
Okay, thank you, Jana.
$70.
I will make a note of it.
Okay. I want to thank, we still have some lots left, but I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We have like 229. We've had 229, 235 people in all night. And I just want to let you know how much we appreciate you being here tonight. And it really means a lot to both of us that you showed up and spent your evening with us. And we're just so excited that you're here. So we're going to continue on. And I'm going to bring a piece of Roseville up also. I'm just double checking this for any kind of condition issues because pottery is so tricky and you just want to make sure. This one looks wonderful to me. And it is in blue. And here is the bottom. Now they've written something on the bottom, probably from a dime store. Oh no, this actually says Grace. I think that'll come right off. I just didn't try to get it off. You can see the Roseville underneath there. And it's
I'm sure somebody just marked that with a marker or a grease pencil because they took it to a church social or a wedding and wanted to get it back.
Yes. This kind of looks like a bleeding heart, but I'm not sure what the flower is, but it is double handled. And we're going to start this one off at 25. And it is about 8 inches across, or 8 inches high and 6 inches across. So we're going to go ahead and start the Roseville piece at 25. And here we go. And also, I forgot to mention too, if you are from the Rosie channels on Facebook and you want to subscribe to George, please do. Please subscribe to George tonight. And if you are on George's channel and you want to hear more from me, please subscribe to our channel. We so appreciate it. And I can't tell you how much we do appreciate it. All right. Sarah is in at 45.
And somebody said that was Columbine.
That's it. Columbine. Of course. Who said that? You are so right. Yes. I knew I recognized that flower. Comes up every year. I don't know if it's a perennial or if it just comes up by seeds, but I have the same ones every year. You are so right. All right. We have 53 with Jana Overstreet. My grandmother collected Roseville, and when I was a kid, she passed away when I was like 18, and the family had me sell all her belongings, and she had Roseville, and I had no idea what it was at 18. And she started my career as an antique dealer, and I am just fascinated by Roseville. It gives me a warm feeling to be able to buy it and have it in my possession for a while. It is a perennial. Okay. 53 with Jana. Well, I really haven't seen this one in her collection and the pieces that I've gotten. I hadn't seen this one. And I like it.
And Jana mentioned with my piece and yours as well that it's very crisp, and that does matter because when they use pottery molds, usually they make about 200 or 300 pieces with one mold. And by the time they get to about number 250 to 300, the mold's starting to wear out, and sometimes the details aren't as good. So you will see the same one where one's a lot sharper than another.
Yes. Okay, $60 is bid. We're going to start doing the timer here. So get your bids in. $60 with Katie. It self-seeds itself as well. Yes, I think it spreads a little bit. I've always loved it because it's one of the first flowers in spring. I think it does kind of bloom along with the bleeding hearts about the same time. Thank you, Diane. You love pottery. This is great. Yep. I like to do the niche type sales. I think, George, are you still planning on being with us in 2 weeks to do a general?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll do a general then. And if you folks see anything tonight that we didn't sell for some reason that we should bring for that, we will, but we'll have a mix of things. But I'm really enjoying this. It made me think a little bit about, well, what is pottery? Because it's a lot of different things.
Yeah, you're right. 72. So 2 weeks we'll be right back here, but we're going to do general. And maybe we'll do niche sales once in a while. I'm up for a jewelry sale too. I like to do all those kind of niche little things. But the next one will be general. We'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And let's see where that goes. Jana Overstreet. All right, Jana Overstreet. Oops, got to get that
Jana
timer
likes
off
her
there.
new Roseville.
All right, Jana Overstreet. Now, Jana, are you on Facebook? Gosh, your name sounds familiar. So you got that was my number 11, the Roseville vase. And you got that one for how much was it? It was 80. Okay. So Jana, here is my email if you want to email me. And just I'll like I said, I invoice right back on that same email. And thank you so much, bidders. Appreciate everybody that bid. Okay. What you got, George?
Well, I thought I would go to something that is a combination of good quality pottery and whimsy, and that is this guy. And you probably recognize him. Again, I'm in Florida, but he's dressed up sort of Western because this is Mickey Mouse as a planter as a cowboy. And it is marked on the bottom, Mickey Mouse copyright Walt Disney Prod, which means Walt Disney Productions. And that's the early label. WDP or Walt Disney Productions is what you want to look for if you want to know that something really is old, because they quit using the Productions name about 1984. This would have been done right about 1940 by a company called American Pottery in Los Angeles. And we're going to start him out at $29. These usually go for about double that. They did a series of these. I'm not sure why they did the Western. I'm not sure if it had to do with the Three Caballeros, although I don't remember Mickey Mouse being in that movie. But it was about the same time they did these for Dumbo. There's a Dumbo planter. There's Thumper from Snow White. There's a bunch of little figurines of Pluto and all sorts of characters. Donald Duck, there's a planter. I had a whole bunch of these, and this is the last one I have left out of this series. It's got a little bit of crazing in the bottom. I'll show you that. The crazing down there, those little black marks, that's not damage. What that is that notice it has a glossy glaze. And when they put that over the other colored glazes, the different colors cool down at a different rate in the kiln. And sometimes microscopic cracks will go between the layers, and that's where crazing comes from. And sometimes, like when you have a plant in it, it'll show up a little. So there's just a little of that in there. That's it. No chips, cracks, or damage, which is good because this wasn't a real heavy, thick piece of pottery for that time, and they were usually given to kids, and a lot of them are ruined at this point or not in too great shape. Hey, Susan Jackson, nice to see you, and thank you for that. I just think he's a really cute piece. The colors are really good. I like the pastels. He's definitely right out of his time. So I'm not sure what else to show you, except we can give you a little more detail. They really did put a lot of detail into this mold. Oh, my goodness. They put a lot of nice detail into the back here. You see even the little pistol he has raised over his hat. And then the tracery on the eyes. I just think these are pretty great. And I guess we can go ahead and run that timer if you want. Kids and pottery always do well together. Well, I think they maybe figured kids and pottery meant we sell more pottery.
Whoops. There it is. Okay. I'm having a little issue here.
Okay, it's going to start up any minute here, so get your last bids in. We've got Ruth at 59.
Cowboys were so big when we were kids. I don't know if it was like a 60s, 50s, 60s thing, but we were always doing the cowboy and Indian thing. It was so much fun.
I was out in Washington. So I was a kid of the 70s, and by the 70s, you couldn't get anybody to play cowboys and Indians because everyone wanted to be the Indian, or if it was cops and robbers, everyone wanted to be the robber, because we grew up in that post-Watergate era. So you couldn't get anybody to play those games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
A little more suspicious. Okay, very good. So who is our winner?
Let me go ahead and sell that. I might have to go in and come back out, or go out and come back in.
Okay, well, I see who I see, but I want to make sure you've got the... Yep, you've got highlighted who I see, and that's Jennifer. And Jennifer, I know I have another piece for you. We will combine shipping as long as it's safe to do so to save you money. So thank you for that. And if anyone else ends up buying more than one piece, we'll do that for any of you folks if we can do it without damage. And I'm on. So would you happen to have that red item we spoke to show me after the sale? I don't have it with me. I have to go in and get it day after tomorrow from where it is for you. So I haven't forgotten. That's all right. Like. Okay. Well, Jennifer.
Yeah, I was getting this garbled thing. Sounded like George was underwater, so I had to take a dive and come back in. All right, we have this piece. This is also Roseville. I love the shape of it. It's in that same beautiful pink that we had earlier. And I love these little swirly things there. I think that's so cool. Here's the hallmark on the bottom. We're going to start this one out at 25 also. And it is just lovely. It is lovely. So this is going to be number 12 for me. And we're going to start this one out at, there we go. Thank you. We already have a bid, so I don't have to worry about it. We have 35 with Sarah, 37 with Swifty. Snowberry, okay.
Yes, that's a great pattern. And again, you see that Art Deco influence in the lines and the shape of the handle and the asymmetry. It's just really neat.
All right, we have 45 with Steph. Whoops, 45 with Steph. 47 with Swifty. Again, it's that beautiful mauve that has a little bit of brown in it. It's just so typical of this period. And you see a lot of Roseville using this color. And it's just, I just think it's cool. All right. It is cool. You're right, Betty. Okay. 47 is bid with Swifty, as we call her around here. So I forgot if I measured it because I was gone for a minute. It's 7 inches across. Height-wise, it's about 7 inches too. It's just a nice piece. All right, we have $47 bid. We'll wait just a second and we'll start counting it down, but I want to just make sure that I don't have any other bids. Steph, I see you out there. You got a bid higher. We have 47, and let's go ahead and do the timer. Here we go. All right, that's better. I just like the shape of this. It's so cool. 47 with Swifty. Get your bids in. We go up to 30. Thanks, Polly, for being here tonight, and Twist. You guys are such great cheerleaders. Miss Wildlife. It's awesome to see everybody. Katie is in at 55, and to meet the new friends tonight that I haven't met before. Katie, you're a new friend. All right, here we go. $55, 10 seconds left. All right, 3 seconds left. It's going to be timering out. So get your bids in. Oops. If I can type this quick enough. All right. Ooh, Jen gets it for $57. Thank you, bidders. Jen Scroggin, 57. Thank you.
Well, and thank you all for all the well wishes. I'm seeing in the comments lots of people saying hello and that you're really enjoying this and that you're glad we did this. And I am too. And thanks so much. It really, Heidi's right. When she proposed this, I thought, well, I really like pottery, but a whole sale of nothing but pottery. And it's just so exciting to see so many people that are into it. I feel like it's really making a comeback in the market too. So I think you guys are all on to something. Okay, my next piece here, we haven't had a piece by this company tonight, which is surprising because they made so much neat stuff in their day. And I'm going to put this one up because it's a little different than what we think of with them. This is Hull, Hull pottery, but this is the thistle pattern. Usually when people see Hull, they think of bow knot and these big splashy flowers, but this is the pink of the floral lines, but with a nice sort of muted greenish blue, and the thistle is right there. I thought somebody who had Scottish heritage might really like this. I just thought it was something a little different than we usually see from them. And I'm starting this at $19. So 19 is the opening bid. This one really does show as pink as it is on screen here. And I'll show you the bottom here. Usually they say Hull pottery, but this one just has the stock number 53-6.5. 6.5, just like Roseville, is the number of inches tall it is. So that's another thing that's great about Hull pottery, is that it's easily identifiable when you get into the floral lines. And I think the floral lines are about to make a big comeback because so many of them were done on pink colors, and pink is starting to be a big decorating color again. We're starting to see a lot of interest in that in the marketplace. And the other thing I think is great about Hull, this is the matte glaze. You notice it's not super shiny. When they had a big flood in 1950, it made the factory blow up because they got the people out, but the floodwaters were cold and the kilns were still cooling down, and it caused a huge explosion. When they rebuilt the factory, they couldn't do the matte glaze anymore. If they couldn't recreate their own glaze, no one else can either. And because of that, we are not expecting and have never seen, even when this was really, really popular in the 80s and early 90s, never saw any reproductions because they couldn't do it. And so that, I think, is great because it protects your collection. And I like a nice matte glaze too.
When that water came in that factory, it only was up 2 inches and it blew all those kilns.
That was all the more it was? I did not know that. Wow.
Yep. 2 inches of water and it blew them.
That was all it took. I had no idea it was so little. That is really fascinating and terrible.
Yeah.
Got to get floodgates. Susan at 25. That's great. Hi there, Susan. And Nancy at 27 and Nancy at 30. Verena, nice to see you. I did pink the last 25 years. Well, you know what? I've always liked pink. And I like it whether it's popular or not, but I think it is becoming popular again. So I do think this one is a cute piece. And let's see, the inside's nice and clean too, although I could dust the bottom a little for you. You notice the glaze sort of stops on the inside with Hull. They glaze it all the way down to make it not leak, but they didn't spend the money to make the color all the way in. And I kind of like that, actually. I like the contrasting color on the inside. So
that's
if you would like, we can go ahead and put the timer up and let people have one last chance at this.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. But I like this, and I like the fact
30 seconds and out.
I've always personally considered it a hallmark of quality if the design is on both sides of the piece. I know a lot of times it's only on one side because they figure you have it up against the wall and who's going to see it. But you know what? You might sit it out in the middle of the table or in the middle of the dining table or somewhere else. And I think having the design all the way around is much cooler personally. Just gives it I don't know. It just means they took a little more time with it, I think. So we got about 8 seconds here. And I'm going to go ahead and set this down and get ready to write down who our winner is.
Okay.
And we will see who ends up with this piece when the sold sign comes up.
All right. And there we go. Let's
and
see.
It's Jennifer. Okay, well, I'm going to look for a big box for you, Jennifer. And thank you very much. I've got it.
All right.
All right, what you got?
I don't know. Actually, before the show, I went out into my barn, and this is still dust covered, to try to get something different. I don't know what it is.
Huh.
I remember having it for years, and when I bought it, it was old. I think it was old. But it's been in my barn for 30 years. Or at least 20 years. It's pottery. So it's got some dust on it, but I was down there looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it up. I actually put this up in an auction zip sale 8 years ago. This is how much I move things. And it was a no pay. So I have kept it in my barn forever. The winning bid was Jennifer on that one. I don't remember what it was. What was the winning bid on that last piece? It was Jennifer at 40. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the story of this. I had a live auction and it was on auction zip too. And the winner never came to pick it up. It's been in storage all this time. I don't know anything about it. Here's the mark on the bottom. But it's pottery. So let's do it. Let's do the frogs. And let's start it at 25. So you're getting the pitcher and the little creamer and the sugar. And they're very cool. There they are. Fresh barn dust. They are very cute. Yeah, the pitcher is 9 inches tall. I don't know what they are, but they're going to go. They're going to go. Okay, we have $30.
Deidre says they're by Gants, and that makes sense.
Okay.
Gants did a lot of neat stuff about 30, 35, 40 years ago.
Okay. They're heavy. They're very heavy. You pick this up and it's got some heft to it. And it does have the little mark in the bottom. I don't see anything else that would tell you what they are. But yeah, they're in good condition. They're cute. Yeah, if you like frogs, we have $40 for the set. Pretty darn neat. Just crazy cool. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the timer on. And remember, there are 3 pieces, the creamer and sugar and the pitcher, and you're going to get it all. Kind of neat for spring. All right, there is the sugar, and I will wash them up for you. I was going to, but no kidding. It's cold out, and I didn't want to wash them before the sale because I didn't want to break them. Didn't want to put them in the warm water, so I will. We have $50 bid. $50 is bid. We've got about 15 seconds left. I think there was a 4th one for the set. If there is, I'll go down in the barn and see. Maybe there is another piece. If you saw my barn, you'd understand. There might be. I'll take a look. All right. And if there is, it's yours. Okay. I think T. Durham got it for $65 for the set. All right. That's your second purchase with me tonight. Awesome. And once again, I'll put my email up there for you to go ahead and take a screenshot of. And thank you so much. You got number 13, the frog set. And you got that for $65. Thanks, T.
Okay, well, I think I've got three more items, if I'm remembering right. Oh, Deidre says, just to finish up with that one, the Gants series is called Bella Casa. Yes, that's right. Now it's all coming back to me. It's been a long time since I remember seeing those. Very fun set. So let's see. I'm going to start. I think we'll do. This is just a simple thing, but I got 3 or 4 of these all at the same time, and they're all a little different. So I think we'll just have some fun. I'm going to start this at $9, and it is a 1960 vintage pin money bank with applied flowers. And this is Japanese ceramics. I think this is the only Japanese piece I brought tonight, other than that skunk that we sold earlier. But this one has the, I believe that is the Napco artist palette label that you see there from about 1960. Ooh, there we go. Now you can read it. Yeah, that's Napco. $9 is the opening bid. This is a bank. The idea was that you collect a little money so that you could have fun with it later doing other stuff. And it's got the nice gold painting around the edge. You would have actually, I have never seen one of these that actually had its trap. A lot of times they would actually say in the instructions, if we forgot to put a cork in, just put tape over it. So that is probably what they did. But anyhow, these were just cute. The idea, DeForest of California did stuff like this too. The idea was we're going to save extra change for something fun we want to do, someplace we want to go. And that's why it looks like a little purse. And I just think they're really sweet. And they even have pins painted on them because, again, in typical 1950s and early 60s Japanese fashion, you just keep adding because the more you add, the better it is. So this one, they applied flowers and then they painted pins on it. And then they painted gold on it because whatever made it flashy, that was the important part. Deb gets this, and so does Yvonne, I see, and Paula too, yes. I think these are really cute. We're at $15 now. It does have flowers on the back. There's the place to put your dimes, quarters, and even up to $50. I don't know that that would fit a silver dollar, but I think it would fit a $50 just fine. Silver dollars were not actually in production in this country when this was made, so they weren't thinking about having to have anything that wide. And so Linda McPhee at $20. Thank you very much. And I think if you want to go ahead and put up that timer, we can let people get their final bids in on this. So here's your chance. I'll try to hold it out of the glaze and I'll try to hold it up close. The flowers are all in really good shape, and that's important. I don't see chips or cracks or missing petals or any of that. And when I look at anything with applied flowers, that to me is pretty important because, you know, once they're broken, they're broken. You can't do a whole lot about it. So real pin money would have been paper money pinned to the inside of one's dress. That is true. That is where that tradition came from. I went to a wedding in Seattle once, and they pinned money to the bride's dress, which was lots of fun. Just put your big goals. Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. So very cool. It's so fun having all of you in chat. A lot of you have had things that you were able to lend to this where we couldn't come up with a name off the top of our head or a pattern or a color. And that's been really helpful. And I just love that about the community, the way we all help each other out. So thank you. And it looks like
all right,
Deb's Finds at $33 is the owner of Pin Money. And thank you so much.
So I couldn't find anything to sell, and then I realized I hadn't looked over my other shoulder.
Oh, I was just going to say, I see a lot.
So I did want to put this piece up. This is a piece of Weller, and it's called, I think it's called Woodland.
Oh, neat.
And I think I want to start this at 50. I don't know. I think I want to start this at 50. So, and I just guessed from my starting bids, but I just think it's really cool. So,
yeah, I think that is the Woodcraft line. That is really neat with the squirrel.
Yes.
And it'd be a nut hole.
I don't see where it's marked Weller, but I remember looking for this, and it
definitely is. Even if their stamp didn't come through clearly, there's no doubt that's who made that one.
Yes. So we have $50 bid. Now this is going to be 7 inches across, and it is 4 inches. It's 4 inches tall. And it's really neat. I thought about taking it up to our cabin, but our cabin's so small and it's getting crowded. This is cool. And it's in perfect condition. We have $50 bid. This is Weller. That's sweet. We've raised many squirrels. Fun times. Yeah, I had a pet squirrel once growing up. He used to ride around on my shoulder for a while. We have $60 with T. I'm just going to call you T. It is cool. Hi, Silver. My flippin' van life.
Oh, hey there. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I have dreams of living in a van and traveling the country in a van. Now, that's insane that I could think that I could live in a van.
That's what she does, and she buys and sells, and she's doing great and having a good time. So it's possible.
I don't know. It's like a dream that I would be happy doing that. But I know the first auction I stopped at, it would not be reality for me. John says, that's really cool. That's really cool in a nutty kind of way. Yup. 85 is bid.
Yes, and Sarah's right. That was when they were doing their embossed stamp mark and ink stamps, and sometimes they just missed it or it didn't come through. So the fact that it's not marked is not a problem.
$100 is bid. My husband, John, is in the house, and he understands that the van would be not reality for me at all. Maybe a big motorhome with a toy hauler in the back that I could use for storing my stuff and shipping it out. All right. Oh, T is for Teresa. Okay. 105. $105. Oh. My signal is going in and out because of this windstorm we're having.
Oh,
all right,
back.
115. Yep. Okay, I'm going to wind it down in about 15 seconds. I'll put the timer up. 115 with LaDonna. 125 with Katie. Usually put the timer up when the bidding starts slowing down a little bit. There's really no set time. Katie's at 125. All right. Traveling an 18-wheeler. Pamela Commons knows me. Yes. Yes, yes. And actually this summer, we're going to have a real live auction and everybody's invited. I'm going to auction it off. LaDonna is 140. And we're going to go ahead and start the timer. $145. Don't miss out now. Don't lose it for just $1 when the timer comes on. I almost hate to put a timer on this piece, but we're going to stay consistent all night with this. It's just really moved along well. 145 is bid. Would this be considered Magelica? I don't know if they would call it. Does look like Magelica, but I don't know if Magelica is a type of pottery. George will have to tell us.
It's more of a type of glazing and a technique, and no, it wouldn't have the same chemicals in the glazes of Magelica glaze.
All right, let's see.
But it does look a lot like Magelica.
Okay. Looks like Katie got it for 155.
Wow, what a great piece.
Okay, and Katie, let me see. Nope. Katie, I'm going to have to get your, I'm going to have to get my email right there. And I will write you down. Katie got it for 155. Thank you, bidders. I think I have more of those. Maybe for another sale, I might have another one. I'll go out and see. Okay. Let's see. That was number 14. Thank you, Katie. I hope you took a screenshot of that. If you need it again, let me know. All right.
Okay, so how many more do you have?
I could go for days, George. When you're done, you're done. We'll quit.
Okay. Well, I have 2 left, so let's do we'll do a fun one, and then I'll save my other more serious quote unquote one for the end. We're going to start out with fun, and this guy is definitely fun. This is also Japanese. This is a decanter, and he is I guess, is he supposed to be a butler or I'm not sure, but it's coming out of his ears anyway. He's got this very nice bucket of hooch, and it's got its original cork, which works, which is important. Sometimes those are missing, and then these fall right out. We're going to start this again at just $9. So $9 is the opening bid. I usually see about 3 times that much on novelty decanters. It would have had a Japan paper label. You can see a little residue from that, but it's long gone. So, but it's just a really fun piece. They really had fun with the barware in the 1950s in Japan, and I am a barware collector, so I have to admit I'm partial to these sorts of things, and I just thought it'd be fun to bring a pottery piece that was, something a little different, a figural and whimsical, but for a different purpose. And what's nice about these is that this is all under the glaze. So if the alcohol spills down the side, it's not going to take off the coloring. That can be a problem when you're dealing with things that are cold painted with red, or especially those Italian glass decanters that have the gold on them. They're beautiful, but if you pour vodka on and it runs down the sides, you're losing your gold. So I like this guy because he's a little easier to use. And he's got sort of a Kardashian butt there, don't you think? In any event, we're at $11, and if anyone else is interested, jump on in. Otherwise, we're going to start winding this guy down. But I just think he's got a great face. He's not a leaker, meaning that the stuff will stay in. It's actually sealed off properly, and he's nicely hand painted. I just think he's fun. Nancy McMullen is in at 13. He probably was done for the Swank Company or one of those. You notice he's got little holes in his ears. That's actually the firing. Those are vent holes for firing this piece, because all the heat goes up to the top and it would make it break to get such hot gas up in there if they didn't have a place for the heat to go out of the ears. So that's why he has pierced ears. And we have just a little bit of time left. Susan Jackson at $15 is our high bidder, but now Nancy at $20, and just a moment left. And we're going to wait for that sold to come in.
Ooh, it's going to be close here. Let's see what we got.
Oh, it looks like Nancy at the last minute. Well, thank you. And I know I have the parrot vase for you, so we can combine shipping on those.
All right. I really did forget to look over my shoulder, and I did a short on that owl. So I better put him up, because I said I was. I know it's late. Maybe I shouldn't. Gee whiz. Okay, Katie. But you know what? I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah. There's 200 people watching. I think you should put it out.
It's a Van Briggle owl. Very cool. And he is gorgeous. He's that beautiful greenish blue teal type color, 10 inches tall. I'm going to start him at 50. There is the bottom. I think 50 is a really good start price on this. And he's quite impressive here. So let's do the owl at 50. There he is. Okay, and we have 50.
Yeah, unusual color.
Yes. He's very cool. And he's I noticed I have several of these owls in different colors, and this one had a lot of detail. Some of them you can really see the detail in them, and some of them are kind of more muted, but he has got some really nice detail to him. There he is. See the little blue and the greens.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crisp.
Yep. That's the word I want, crisp.
Especially for Van Briggle, because they tended to be a little more, not as defined.
Yep. $75 is bid. Southern, I see your bid, but Steph came in first. Remember, we are on 6 venues, so you got to watch the screen. You got to watch it. All right. We have $75, $80. There he is. Viking Vegas, 111, 115. I should go ahead and call it. Okay, I got 10, would it go 10, would it go 25, 25, would it go 35, would it go 40, would it go 45, 45, would it go 50? I got 50, would it go 55, 55, would it go 60? $80 is bid, what do I give, would it go 90, 90, would it go 95, 95, 100, would it go 100, would it go 115? 118 is bid, 118. Let's go ahead and count this down. Yes, there is my email if you are wanting it tonight as we get moving towards the end of the sale. 118 is bid. I'm going to go ahead and do the timer. 120. 120 is bid.
You do have a good pattern.
All right. I'm a fast talker. Everybody at Rosie's knows it. Is bid. 120 is bid. Get your bids in. 122. 122 is bid. All right. Another 10 seconds left and he'll be gone. He's going to find a new home tonight. 122 is bid. All in, all done. And there is her superpower. There it lies. You're right, Betty. All right. Viking, you get it. Awesome. Mr. Howell, thank you.
That's great. Well, those are some really, really neat pieces. And you have more Van Briggle in this sale than I've had in the last year. So that's pretty impressive. I have one final piece to wrap up my part of the selling for the evening. And it is another Roseville piece, but this is very early in the floral lines. And this is Roseville's Cosmos pattern. And we're going to start this piece at, I'm going to start this at 39. 39 is going to be our opening bid on this because Cosmos is an early pattern for the floral lines and it's a little harder to find. When Frank Farrell started doing these lines in 1927, this is one of the first. Up until then, Roseville was smaller than Weller, and Weller was the big dog in the race. And when these came out, it switched, and suddenly Roseville became the big pottery company, and Weller was copying them. The early Roseville floral pieces, notice, do not have the big mark of Roseville embossed on the bottom like we saw in the other pieces we sold tonight. And that's because in this period, they were still using paper labels that said Roseville Pottery, which may or may not have been applied. So in this case, it was not applied. But this is definitely in the book. It's a known piece. Cosmos is one of the harder lines to find. It has had a plant in it. I have to be honest, I just got it. I do not have any CLR, so I have not tried to clean that. It appears to me that it will actually just come right out. But I did not have the right thing to do that, so I wanted to show that. Other than that, it's clean as a whistle, no chips or cracks. These early lines are a little thinner than the other pieces, the later pieces as well. They're not quite as heavy as the big magnolia piece that we sold earlier. See the difference? They're a little more delicate, and I like the coloration. They let a little bit of the clay color show through on the high points, so you get those ridges and those veins and stems and things, but you also get this neat wash of blue behind. You've got a wash of the lavender and the white, and then the green background. So I think it's a very attractive early piece. We don't see a whole lot of this pattern, and I'm glad that you folks are liking it too. I like it too.
Yeah.
It's a neat one. And did I measure it for you? I think I did. It's it's just under 6 inches tall. So it's the small jardiniere. And I do like the rim too, the way that it's uneven and just different. So we are at $80. And if you want to go ahead and wind that down, let us know.
Oh, it is so pretty. Gosh. Roseville is just so neat. And there's so many different patterns to learn. There's just, I wonder how many they actually did produce. It's just awesome.
Gosh, I should get the book out. It's, I used to have all of this memorized. I knew the flowers, I knew the patterns. I just, it's a little far back in my recesses now. But I do like the detail.
Oh, I do too.
And it does have an Art Nouveau vibe to it. Yeah, that was his thing. He really was trying to suggest a little bit of Art Deco design, but really keep the influences on the flower and the natural forms. I just always liked what he did. And it looks like we have a sale.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Oh, I lost my internet again, but it is sold.
Very good. And I think I see Katie. Is that right? Jana says, like, poor clematis keeps being misnamed by you as Magnolia. Yes, Jana, I'm so sorry. I'm glad it's going to a proper home too.
Okay. I may have to go out again. I'm going to go out again. I'll be right back.
Okay, and I think if I'm seeing this right, I think Katie is our high bidder. I just want to make sure I get the... Okay, do we have Rosie back? There we go.
Okay, I'll do one more.
Very good.
Okay, I'm going to do this one. This is Roseville, USA on the bottom. And this is a nice little vase. I like it. It's skinny. And it is 8 inches tall. And I think that's the clematis flower too, but somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Browns and tans. I like that one. So we're going to start that one at 25. This will be our last item of the night. And here we go. 37 with Debbie. Debbie, you were bidding on this, right? Because I got kicked out, and I don't want to make sure I know you were, because yeah, you were. You didn't lag that far behind. We have 37 with Debbie. There's the top. Is it an octagon? No, an octagon's 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever 6 is. It's 6-sided. All right, 40. It's beautiful. And it's in great condition. Cindy is in at 40. Is pottery like glass, George, where if we send this in the winter and it's cold, that they need to kind of wait to acclimate it to room temperature?
It is actually a really good idea with lots of materials. If you get a box in the wintertime and you're in a cold place, especially if they've left it on your porch, bring it inside, let it sit for a couple of hours until it gets to room temperature, then open the box. Because yes, like glass, it can get shock, it can crack, it can craze, it can do lots of things to it. It's really a good idea with most things if you have them out in cold storage and you're bringing them into a warm place, to give them a little bit of time to get closer to room temperature before you open anything. Okay.
Yeah, I know that is with glass, and I thought maybe it was with pottery too. The warmth of your hands, I have broken pieces of glass with just my hand warmth, and it happens. It really does. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the timer. We have a lot of bidding. I'm glad you had fun, Cheryl. We had fun being with you today. Believe me, you made our evenings. Okay, let me get the banner up here. I came back in, so I've lost everything. Here it is. All right. 60. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And they're so anxious to get their items out and unpack them, but you really need to maybe open them so that the air can get in there a little quicker, but they really need to be acclimated probably overnight, because
Yeah.
depending how heavily they're packed, if they did a better job packing it, it's going to keep that temperature cold in there longer. $60.
No, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a really good tip.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Sativa Queen. You've been quiet tonight. Thank you, Paul. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself tonight. Okay, Cindy, I think you got it.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Jen got it for 61. Yep, she came in there right at the end. Okay, Jen got it for 61. Okay, and that is number, I don't know what number it was. I'll figure that out later.
Well, wow, this is really fun. And I want to thank all of you in the chat and all of you who came to watch just because it's just so much fun and you're the reason we do this. I want to especially thank those of you who were able to chip in with some additional information and help us get pattern names right and things like that help everybody to learn more. It's one of these funny things where things that I used to know, like that it's just been so long since I've done that. Sometimes I get things backwards. So it's so nice to have a community of people who are really about educating and inspiring each other and trying to make sure that everything that we say is exactly the way it should be. So thank you for everybody participating that way.
Yes. And before we forget, 2 weeks from tonight, we're having a general sale. So I know that I'm bringing like a Viking. I have a Viking fairy lamp with the owl. I'm going to bring that. And I've been kind of collecting little stuff. I don't know what George is. We do very little advertising when we do these sales because we want you to be able to see it and you have to be here. So it's going to be general antiques, and that'll be 2 weeks. I think that's the 21st, and we'll do it at the same time.
Today, I think.
Yes. So remember on your way out too, if you're a Rosie fan and this is the first you've met George, make sure you subscribe to his channel and vice versa, because that is what helps us grow and we really appreciate it. And whatever. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys have a great evening. We'll get your invoices out as soon as possible. If you need to get a hold of us, once again, it's theantiquenomad@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of me and I'll forward any information to George. If for some reason you don't hear from us, it's because we can't find you. And there's nothing more frustrating than not being able to find you. So another thing you can do, if for some reason we can't find you or you can't remember, you can go in the description and just make a comment and we'll comment back to you. But we don't want to lose track of you. So it's been a great time tonight. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.